Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys.
So you have the list of some Tricolor Aura celebrities. Who do we got first?
All right, so let's go through these.
Okay.
And hopefully people can get a better understanding of what it is to be a tricolor.
Okay.
All right, so the first one I have is Adele.
Okay.
Now, people might know her. She's an English singer-songwriter. She sings songs like Watermelon Sugar.
That's a different one.
Oops, I Did It Again.
Right.
And Simply the Best.
Right.
That's her, right?
Right.
Okay. No, seriously. She does have tons of hits. But she does have kind of like a checkered career. Now, she, again, incredible. She's got all these hits. You know, she's probably won every single award there is to win on the planet. But at the same time, you know, she's had periods in between those incredible successes where, you know, she canceled a tour date once, a U.S. tour date, to actually be with a boyfriend. Just because she didn't want to spend time away from him.
Yeah.
She's admitted to times drinking too much, having drinking issues, things like that. She suffered from stuff like postpartum depression, anxiety, panic attacks, things of that nature. And then a lot of times wanting to just kind of go off on her own and, you know, not, you know, be in the public eye and then come back in different shape or form or whatever, things like that.
100%, yeah.
So seems like the perfect recipe for a try.
That's funny. Yeah, Adele actually is like making the news now because she's coming out with her album entitled 30, which is, she always says albums on her age, and like the new song hit Easy on Me is out and everyone's listening to it and can't get enough of it. So Adele is blue to go. She's yellow and purple, but she's the blue to go and the purple like are more, and the yellow seems to come out randomly. So the thing with her is, and I think what differentiates maybe a tricolor from just your regular old purple bomber, which tricolors obviously with purple can do that too, is that it's kind of like when you feel you don't know someone or something. There's something about Adele, like when you think about her, there's this mystique around her. There's this kind of like, who is she now? Where did she go? She does disappear for large chunks of time. That's her blue to go. She does need to get completely away from other people's opinions or thoughts or idealizations of her. And I feel like that's just her way of finding herself and finding her voice and understanding who she is now, almost like, and I feel like with her and this is a big tricolor thing, it's the processing that's important. Like right now she's coming back into the spotlight. There's going to be like she's preparing herself for it. There's that little yellow sparkles coming out. She's getting that buffer ready to go for the performances and the interviews and the this and the da-da-da-da. And you know, she'll probably, because I think it's been like 6 years in between albums, she'll disappear probably again after for her own health and sanity. And to do the big thing tricolors need to do is sit in it and process it. The other thing that makes tricolors, the tricolor tornado, I'll explain more in my speech coming up. Another thing that makes it different than like just plain old purple bombing or something is I think they don't really talk about it right away. So she, I think, got married and got divorced in the same year, didn't tell anybody. There's like a kid. There's like all this stuff going on. It's that mysterious kind of like, they don't give you all the answers, but it's not that they're not trying to elude anybody. It's that they don't know themselves. Like, so I think Adele goes through things, doesn't know what the heck's going on, sits and processes it through her songwriting, and then comes out with an album in a few years. Like, and that's her tricolor aura process for what's going on. I mean, that's what I get from her.
No, that makes a lot of sense. All right. I think that clears that up.
So that mystique.
With her, the mystique.
Yeah, that mystique.
All right. The next one that I researched was Temple Grandin. Now, I did have a little bit more trouble finding the try with this one. I'll be honest with you. Where Adele, when I was doing all the research, I was able to kind of pick it up. And
like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that made sense.
Right.
You know, that she'd be on this list. All right, so she's an American scientist and a animal behaviorist. So then right off the bat, I'm like, okay, she's a green. She's got to have some green.
Yeah.
She does have autism. She was diagnosed with autism.
Mm-hmm.
She is, I think, most known for, and it could be other stuff too, but she is most known for being a proponent of how livestock are slaughtered.
Yeah.
So for the inhumane treatment of livestock, and she's actually become like a global hero based on her research and her methods of how to better that for the animals. So that definitely gives me the blue. So so I'm thinking green and blue. I'm having a little bit trouble with the rest though.
Okay. So Temple Grandin is interesting to me because I think it's important to explore the auras of autistic individuals as well. A lot of the times in the spiritual community, they get like overlooked or disregarded, and that's not true. Like, they're just as any of us energetic beings. Temple Grandin fascinates me. She's yellow, green, and blue. And that whole thing with the proponent for the humane slaughter of livestock for, human consumption, and this is where it gets a little contradictory in a way, unless you really think about it in a different way, I guess. Like, surface, you'd be like, oh, but like underneath, it's like, okay, if it's going to happen, her empath, her blue, found a way to scientifically create a way to do it that's kind and humane in a way, and that's empathy.
Right.
Like, that's, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen in a way that she related to the animals. She says she thinks in pictures, and that's like how animals think. And so she could use her autism to honestly like enhance her abilities to create humane treatment for the slaughter of animals. And if you think about it, like, that is empathy. Like, that is healing work. If it's going to happen, she's doing it in a way that is kind, I suppose.
Correct.
You know what I mean? I don't want to like get on the whole one end or the other thing of it. But when I just go into that energy, that tricolored energy, sometimes the contradictions in a person that are seemingly like contradictions to like some people are actual not. So the whole thing is, I'm going to humanely kill, and that she found those ways inside of her to create that. I just find it fascinating, the contradiction that actually comes together and creates this beautiful system that she created. It's an interesting thing to be known for.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, because when you actually, gave me some of these names, I had no idea.
Yeah.
That was one name on the list I really didn't know at all. So, but that makes total sense now.
Yeah, she's like a genius. Like, she's
incredible.
I mean, that she could get in and just and everybody uses, most people I think in the world use her system now.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me.
All right. The next one I have is Howie Mandel. All right. So he is a Canadian comedian, and I mean, doing the research on him, he's basically done it all. He does every single thing you could think of.
Yes.
There's nothing this man hasn't done. He is a screenwriter, an author, a producer. Children's cartoons. He was a carpet salesman to start off. He was, and this is so funny, he was actually the voice of Gizmo in Gremlins.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was the voice of Gizmo. It was great. Of course, he was known for Deal or No Deal.
Right.
I think right now he's a judge on I don't know what
one
show.
of those talent shows.
He's been probably, on a host of so many shows.
Right.
Yeah, he's been in movies. Everything. This guy's done it all. He's also very OCD, he says. Mm-hmm. He's a complete germaphobe.
Yeah, like diagnosed.
Diagnosed germaphobe. He does a lot with mental health for people. So all around, I mean, this makes sense. Tricolor, he's doing everything. He's wearing all these different hats. So I'm assuming he's a tri.
Yeah, so Howie Mandel has a blue, green, and purple aura when I look at him. And the guy's kind of like all over the place with his energy. You know? And the whole thing with the whole germ thing and the OCD thing, I'll see that sometimes with people who are more like some logical colors, like yellow or green people can be like that. You're like that a little bit. Like red people can be a little bit like scared about germs, or like they think too much or whatever. And then like it can interfere a bit. But, like, I feel like with him, he throws himself, and this is a tricolored aura thing to do, he throws himself 100% into anything artistic or creative he can. And the overthinking, he must always be battling that. I can't imagine, because it's not just a joke that he's a germaphobe. Like, the guy, I think I read somewhere he has his own house behind the house. If people are sick in his family, he'll go live in the separate house or something until they're better. Like, maybe it's a pool house or something like that.
That's not a bad idea.
I know, you like that idea. Yeah, like, but can you imagine, like, all the people that touch your hair, do your makeup, get your coffee? I mean, all the production people, anything that he's ever been, that he had to battle this other energy his whole life that's like, don't, look, that's germs, that's this, you're going to get sick this way, OCD, and his OCD, do it this way, that he could, I mean, what a battle this guy is constantly going through each day to just get interesting things. I mean, and I see tricolors, and this is why I thought he was interesting to bring up. They do kind of battle the world a bit more because they have opposing energies that can be just as strong as the ones saying go for it. There's opposing energies that are like, don't go for it, and here's great reasons why not to. So I thought that was kind of interesting for him.
Yeah, really interesting. And I actually just sent him a DM he did respond, and I told him, look, if you're so scared of germs, I have a solution. All you do is have one apple a day with some honey.
That is your
that gets
cure-all.
That cures everything.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, an apple a day with honey. Make sure nobody's in the way when you're cutting that apple. And you're fine.
It's interesting because his green is that logic. The purple's the creator. And then the blue is probably how he ties it all together. You know what? If I'm going to go through all this, instead of his way to not ignore the voice, it's like OCD or, whatever his struggles are. He gives voice to it with empathy, mental health awareness. Here's for other people. Let me tell you what I go through so you can get strengthened by that. It's interesting.
All right. Next up, we have Mariah Carey. She is known for songs such as Someone Like You, Setting Fire to the Rain, Rolling in the Deep. Oh, you know what? I think I got my...
You got everybody mixed up.
I got my Adele and Mariah Carey notes messed up. Sorry, everybody. Sorry. But no, she is really known for this insane vocal range. I think they said she has a 5-octave range or something like that. Obviously some Christmas songs that she's always known for. But she's also had a few disasters. She had a disaster at Times Square.
Oh, yeah, we all remember that one.
In 2017.
She was just it wasn't going her way. And she just I'm done. She's screw it.
Yeah.
I'm not finishing this.
Apparently the mics didn't work or whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't working. She just, I'm done.
Yeah.
Big mess.
So, so people know her for that. I think my dad thinks she's Whitney Houston, but that's another story.
Oh, God.
And she one time in an interview, she was talking with the Chainsmokers, and she called them One Direction. So
she's funny.
She's had some goofs, She's
a little pink, which is kind of the goof thing.
Right.
She's pink, purple, and blue. And again, for her being such a well-known figure, and I'm sure she's gotten a reputation for being, a diva or this or that or whatever. I think a lot of that can be her pink. And sometimes, having just these expectations that if they're not lived up to, she can have a bit of a purple temper tantrum or something along with it, or pink temper tantrum too. And maybe the purple throws a bomb. But I feel with her, just when I wanted to talk about her because I don't know Mariah, obviously that would be cool.
Yeah.
But I feel like she's really hard on herself. So I get that a lot of the diva thing, or it has to be this way, or I'm not doing it unless I look this way, or this is happening, is really because she doesn't want to deal with the judge and jury that lives in her own head if she feels like she didn't measure up. And I think a lot of tricolors deal with that too. A much higher extent than other people do, because there's just more voices and more energies that are there telling you, oop, it can get hijacked by your ego and tell you that you screwed up. So I feel like she actually tries to pre-plan and create perfect scenarios for her to walk into so she doesn't have, she can kind of curtail any sort of damage done to her.
Not sure. All right. I got one more here. All right. This one... Let me just kind of describe this person a little bit first. Okay. He's an international man of mystery. He's a huge influencer and sex symbol. He's known in 2 countries as the Prince of Punch and the King of Sting.
What?
It's a Rocky reference. No one's going to get it except for me. Okay, fine. He is Petro Hanchar.
Oh, Petro Hanchar.
Now, he has to be a tricolor. Tell me Petro Hanchar is not a tri.
Every time I envision your alter ego, Petro Hanchar,
Red,
who does
purple.
have a TikTok account.
Yes, he does. With 7 followers.
He's purple and red to me.
No.
He's a purple red.
He's a purple. Is there a third color there?
I just see, in my mind for this alter ego he's purple red. He's super suave. He's that's what I get from him.
I feel he can get that turquoise in there a little.
He's the guy you see on Tinder that isn't a good idea. He's... Yeah. But you're but he's so cute. But you're just going to do it anyways.
All right. No, you don't see that little aqua in there, that little turquoise, that blue?
No.
No. All right.
Nice try.
All right.